Hi everyone! It has been a long time since I've seen you. I hope that all of you are staying safe and are healthy. I've heard from some of you that things are a little crazy and you are either mandatory workers or required workers or you've got stuff going on at home. Please know that that is more important than anything. So just keep me in the loop. And if you would look back at the syllabus, you can see that anywhere from 400 points to 500 points is an A. So looking at what you've got going on right now in Blackboard, once Monday comes and I put in the attendance grades, you'll see where you're at and see how much you still need to do. Every time I put up a discussion board for you to respond to, that's your attendance grade. So all you have to do is respond to it and say, I liked it, I didn't like it. You guys responded to Niall and you responded to Heather. Was great. I'll have another one up for you to respond to on Monday. And that's basically attendance. So you really only have to write 5, 6, 7 sentences, whatever you want, whatever you feel about it, to be able to get those points. That's super easy. At this point, the quizzes for last week and the quizzes for the coming week are the work in the book. Mainly because that's kind of the best thing we have other than this video, which I certainly hope everybody's going to enjoy. I did send everybody a Zoom invitation for Monday till like 5:30-ish. We might end early, whatever. I'm going to wait for everybody to kind of get on. If you are swamped, if you got stuff to do, if you've got little ones, if something is happening, that Zoom is really just to ask questions, to clarify things, to make sure that you understand anything that you need to understand. So that being said, I think I kind of covered attendance and I covered the last 2 weeks of quizzes. The Unit 2 homework, which some of you have already sent, which is great, is the quizzes for this week. It's for the 6th and for the 8th. They're not due, though, until the next Monday. So, no stress. If you have missed a deadline on anything, if you've missed an attendance deadline, if you have missed a quiz, the attendance deadline you can't do much about other than saying, please use my extra credit points to cover that. Remember also you get 2 excused absences. So if you haven't missed anything, you don't have to worry about it. You can use some of those excused absences. For the quizzes, remember, if you do them after the fact, you could do them for 3 points, and now you can do them for 2 points. So at least you could get 4 points instead of 8 if you want to. It's important, though, for you to kind of do them at some point in time, especially Unit 2, because that's a lot of the stuff that's then going to be on the final exam, which will be a YouTube video, the final exam. And I'm hoping this really works and you guys like this because a lot of you said, yes, I do Zoom and Zoom's great, but you'd like to have an actual video so that you could look back at what I was doing. So that's that. The next thing I want to talk about is the project. As you can see, by April 8th, you need to give me a topic because that will at least, guys, get you sort of thinking about it, motivated, whatever you want to do. If you want to do the paper, it's 85 points total. If you do the PowerPoint, add videos, make it cool, have a lot of colors, and at the bottom where there's notes, you type in what it is you were going to say if you presented it in class. That will then be able to get you the 100 points. Your PowerPoint will also be shared. Everyone will see it. If you write me a paper, 85 points max, totally fine. That's a B. If you really just enjoy writing papers. There were several people last semester, that's all they did. They just wrote a really good paper, 4 to 5 pages. In doing that, your paper will not be shared with anyone. part of the 15 extra points with the PowerPoint is that you're willing to let people see your work. You're willing to let people see your ideas, your notes, all of that. So that's about all for the project. If there's any questions about attendance for the discussion board, if there's questions about the quizzes from last week and this week coming up, if there's questions about the project or the paper, any of those, fair game on Monday. Have your questions to ask me. Okay? Great. So, getting into some of the meat of things, I posted for all of you the St. Patrick's Day signs. That was really just kind of fun. We were going to do those in class, eat some green food and things like that. So, sad that we didn't get a chance to do that. The next thing is I posted was this. So all of you should have these. These are the verbs. Almost all of these are in your emergency sign book, but I decided to put them on this sheet together. These are the verbs that are most important that you need to know for going ahead. A lot of times in class, these verbs will pop up in all the things that we do, the activities that we would have done, you guys standing up in front of class and signing, all of that. So I'm just going to do these verbs in order, show you how they look, and basically, give those little hints why you should remember them, what they mean, where they come from. Okay? So the first page I'm going to go with is the word buy. B-U-Y. Buy. Okay? So, starting there, this corner, top left, we're reading left to right. Buy. Buy. It's like money exchanging hands. Next sign. Call. Call. Calling on the phone. Not calling out. That's different. Call on the phone. Call somebody. Call 911. This call is yelling. Different sign. Can. May. It's one time. Remember, verbs one time. Nouns are twice. So, can I go to the bathroom? May I borrow a pencil? Can, may. Same sign. Next one. Calm down. Calm down. One time. Some people sign calm down from back and forth. Some people just do calm down. Both are right. Next one, we all know. Understand. Understand. Remember, the face has to be, understand. That little head up. Share. We talked about that one before. Cooperate. You see, it's these two fingers connected together. Cooperate. It also means relationship. Relationship. Cooperation, that kind of thing. Next one, build or build. Some people use the U, some people use their whole hand. Both are acceptable. Break. This is like I'm breaking a stick. I broke my bone. This is not for class. Like, oh, break time. Break or break. That one. Means like you're holding time, or it's right in the middle. You're going to do something. Something happened here. Something happened here. Break. That's different than this one. This is actual physical breaking something. If you have a mug and it crashes, I broke it. That. Laugh. Laugh. You have to have a little bit of the laugh face. If you don't have the laugh face, it's kind of like, it doesn't look like you're laughing. Next one, we've talked about this one before. Wait. Wait. Gotta love that face. A little bit, a little scrunchy. Feel. We talked about that one. Feel. It's this finger right over your heart. Feel. Follow. It's like this is the leader and this is the person following. Follow. Follow. Love. We know that one. We talked about that before. Touch. Touch. So it's anything like touch me, don't touch the pan, whatever, touch. Or it's not, I don't know, it's more of a like a physical touching. See, we talked about that before. I can see, I can be like, let me see, let me see that. Your face has to show a lot of that emotion. Next one, dance. We did that one a lot, so different kinds of dancing. Stay. I think we talked about that one maybe with animals, the dog, or even like little kids when they're all like running around and you say, stay, like that, stay. It's the Y handshake. Next one, cook. We talked about this one before, I think. It's kind of like this is the frying pan and you're flipping things inside of it. So cook. Lost. This is actually physically losing something. My keys are gone. They're lost. Can you help me search? Lost. Watch. This is different than see. Like, oh, I see it. Oh, I see you over there. Watch is like I'm watching TV or I'm watching you. Or, watch that, something like a game, like come and see, like, oh, watch it. You're really looking. And the more I really watched that guy versus, I watched it. Like if you were talking about like a speech someone made and you're like, oh, yeah, I watched it. That. Read. We talked about that one a lot before. Reading and how fast or slow or how interested you are is in the sign. So I read. You remember we talked about my Kindle obsession, which is kind of like touch. Obsession. It's not on the signs, but there you go. Tired. We talked about that one. It's really falling in on you. I'm really tired. Sick. We talked about sick before. Comes from your heart and your head. Kind of popping at you. Safe. We talked about this one. I think it has a lot of different, it can be freedom, it can be safe, all that kind of stuff. Next page is the one on the top here where it says write. Okay. So write. How fast, how slow, write it down. Or, I wrote the paper, that. Work. We talked about work. It's hitting this side of your wrist with the other part of your wrist, the inside. Want, we talked about that a lot. Want, don't want. Walk, I think we talked about that with activities and things that we do. Remember, we can walk as a person, like, this person, they walked with me, or we walked together, or just the physical idea of walking. I'm stuck in the house. I decided to go out for a walk. That. Speeding as in a car, speeding. Or, let's speed it up here if someone's like, oh, yeah, okay, like speed it up, that. Sit, we talked about that a lot. Remember, sit is one, chairs doubled. Okay. Order, you can use one hand, I ordered you, I told you, I ordered in a restaurant, or you can use two. I ordered the pizza. Move. Wherever you're moving something. So you see behind me, there's the bookshelves. If I want to move from them to over here, we're moving from that place to that place. It has to have a beginning and end. Look for. That's the sign for search. Look for. Some people use it for discover, like, I discovered that. Need. We talked about need before. Need. Meet, that we use that way back. Nice to meet you. Don't. That's that coming off the chin. Don't. It's all negation. So I want or don't want. Remember we talked about that. Or don't want. Either one. Fine. Next one. Booked. Full. Complete. It's like taking something and slicing it off at the top. I always think of this sign when you're baking and you put the flour in and you go, and all the flour, as you cut it off with a knife and there's all the flour inside, it's full. That. Close. We talked about that being like close a door, but if we're talking about like the stores now, everything is closed. These restaurants are closed. Places that don't need to be open are closed. Not only just talking about doors, but anything in general, closed. come. You can use two hands, come, or one, come. It's just a movement from here to there. I can't come to nowhere. I can't be like, oh, come. You can't be in front of my face. It's gotta be come here, or meaning then go there. Come here, go there. Help, we talked about that a lot. Open, remember I said there was closed, open. Rent. It's on the back side of the finger. I think we talked about it before. It's also the sign for month. Show me. You can show me this way or show me that way. Like, show me your paper, or I want to show you my pictures. It can be directional. Finished. Talked about that a lot. Finished. Happen. I think we talked about that before. Happen. Go. Remember I said come. Well, then there's go. And where am I going? Am I going out that door? Am I going that way? Am I going that way? It's directional. Have. Dolphins to the shoulders. Remember? Dolphins to the shoulders. Cry. We talked about that before. How you cry. Cry. Or people have seen the movie Ghost. Like she just, crying like that. Or just starts crying. Find. So we lost something. Find it. Oh, I found my paper. I found my keys. I think I have on here 2 times. So have. Give. We talked about give. You're giving to me. I'm giving to you. Let's give to the children. That. Eat. We talked about eat. Drive. Drink. And then the last one is really small. It's a teeny one. And it has evacuate. Close to what you might use for get out of here, which would be yeet. Like yeet it out of here, that kind of thing. Evacuate. Live or live. Both of them fine. Some people use the L. Some people use this. And it also means your address. Hurt. We talked about hurt and pain. Things like that. Stop. We knew that one. Rest. Stand. We talked about that one. Pay. Buy. Pay. And pay is directional. Usually you don't buy from me, you buy forward, but I can pay you and you can pay me. And if I pop it like this, it means owe. You owe me that. But it's not often used with like you owe me like a favor. It's like you owe me money, because this is kind of a money area. Together, we talked about that one before, like friendships or dating or hanging out together. And the last one, take. Like, oh, there's the last strawberry. I'm going to take it. Or, did you take my, candy? That. Okay, so that's that. Those are all the verbs here. The next thing that I am going to post, but I don't have yet, are the signs for food. And you will see at the top, the sign is butter. There's several pages of them, and we're going to go through them now. So the first one is butter, and it's butter. Kind of like spreading it on toast. Next one is meat. That's all kinds of meat. If you want to add the animal, like cow meat, would be beef. If you want to add pig meat, would be pork. Chicken is just normally chicken. We don't say like chicken meat. Normally we don't say that. Vegetables. It's a V right here. Kind of where our sign for apple is. Vegetables. Popcorn. It's the actual visual of popcorn. Bread. Okay, good story about bread. When I first started interpreting, I was in a class, and it was about the Civil War here in the United States. And at that time, they had, of course, ships, but they were made of wood. And what they did was, over the wood, they put metal. And they were called Ironsides, the names of the boats. And so there was this presentation that the teacher was doing about these specific kinds of boats, saying that they were wood and then they were covered with metal. And so I signed for like 50 minutes ships. ships. Instead of wooden ships, I signed bread ships. And my deaf student at the very end says to me, you know, it would be really, really hard to put metal over bread. So maybe you want to sign wood. It literally was maybe like week 2 of me starting being an interpreter. So I will never forget that. And my student still likes to tease me about that. So remember, wood, bread. Okay. Anyway. Pasta. This is all kinds of pasta. It doesn't have to specifically be like spaghetti, any pasta. Watermelon. This is a general melon sign. It could be pumpkin, cantaloupe, like mushmelon, anything. But specifically, if you wanted watermelon, you sign water and melon. Next one is ketchup. And their sign in here, a lot of people do ketchup, or this one is like tomato and then ketchup. Any and all of them work. Chicken nuggets. People do chicken and then the classifier for nugget. Chicken nuggets. Salad. It's taking all those leaves and whooshing them together. Next page is mushroom, the top. So mushroom, little stem, little top. Peanut butter, peanut, and butter. For people who are interested in name signs, this is the name sign for President Carter. Carter was because he was a peanut farmer, so you can keep that in the back of your head. So peanut butter. And this is nut in general, any kind of nut. And if you wanted like specific, you wanted to say almond, you'd have to specifically spell almond and say, oh, we add the nuts, which almond. Peach. I think we might have talked about this one before. I'm not sure. Peach. Pork. That we talked about that one in regard to dirty. Sorry, guys. I was in desperately need of a haircut and did not get it, obviously. So you're going to see my hair get longer and longer and longer and probably grayer and grayer and grayer. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, eggs. It's the one side to the other side. You're cracking them in half. Shrimp. People do shrimp or they spell it. And it's like kind of a crook, like the end of the shrimp. Hot dog. This is for any kind of sausage. It can be a hot dog. It can be Polish, whatever. It's just, it's like in the casing. Next one, grapes. And if you want, you can add an R, and it means raisins. There's 2 signs for the next one, which is pizza. Some people do pizza, just like the end of it, like that, or pizza. And it's a P in the Z shape. Apple, I think we talked about that one before. Carrot. Water, I think we've done water before. It's the W here on your chin, right on the chin, not on the side, because remember we talked about that. Over here being wine, water. Sandwich. It's like this is some of the, and let's remember, bread, and this is some of the bread. You put them together, sandwich. This can also be used for the sign for picnic. Milk. It's just like the sign for orange into your mouth, but milk is out here, milk. And it's like the udders. Bacon. This is Grant's favorite thing in the world to eat, bacon. It's like butter, but it does a little crinkle thing. Pear. That's the next one. Our next page is onion. So remember, here was apple, onion. Why? Because you cry when you chop up onions. Cracker. And if you use a P, pretzel. Tomato or tomato. Either, so it's kind of like doing red and slicing. And some people do it the whole hand like this or like that, either. Toast. It's prong. Way back when people used to make toast and they didn't have a toaster, what they used was a like prongs, like you use when you make s'mores when you're camping, and you'd stick the bread through and you would put it in the fire and it would toast. So that's where that sign comes from. Toast. Fish. We did that one before. That's eating fish and fish in your like tank and fish when you're fishing. Chocolate, both of them acceptable. Peas are like lining them up, going doot, 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 on your finger, because there's all little peas that live inside the pod. Hamburger, kind of like you're making the burger in your hands. Sushi. So sushi is like, I think, do you guys call it nori? The green, the seaweed thing? That's like this here, and it's 2 fingers going in. Sushi, which is different than taco, which is coming up. So sushi this way, sushi, if you can see it from behind, sushi, it's 2 fingers wrapped up in the, I believe, nori. You can correct me on Monday if you guys know better. Nuts, we talked about that one. Nuts. The other peas, I think I had that on here twice. Sugar, we talked about that one before. Sugar, sweet, diabetic, sweets, all that kind of thing. I added the symbol for Burger King, and it's BK. You can see it there. Cherry, berry, blackberry, raspberry, you'd have to spell it. This is the general sign for cherry and berry. Strawberry, different. Strawberry. Regular berries in general, like blueberries, it's all this over here. Yogurt. It's a Y, like you have a dish in front of you. Yogurt. Pie. It's cutting it in half and then half again. So you're cutting something in front of you, your hand, into 4. Soup. Okay, do you see? Yogurt was the Y. Soup was the 2 fingers, was the U. Next page is banana. So this is your banana and you're peeling it. So some people peel the whole thing. Some people do it twice. Whatever you wanted. So pineapple. To be honest with you, I do not know where this sign comes from. People have speculated that the reason it's pineapple is because like the top of the pineapple has these, and I really don't know. I don't know where it's come. It's interesting. I'm not sure. Next one is potato, like you're piercing the potato with the fork. French fries, it's FF down, French fries. Cheese, we talked about this so many times, remember? So cheese is the smushy one there. Corn, like you're gnawing it off the cob. Pancake, it slaps down and it flips up and goes back down. Beer, I think we talked about that one before. Maybe it was on the St. Patrick's Day signs. Wine. Some people do wine like this, and some people do wine like this, which is how he's doing it on the picture. That's why you have to be so careful with the water versus the wine. So some people do wine up here like that. Both acceptable. I've seen both. Juice. Be sure it's like juice in front of you versus this, because off to the side here is jealous. I'm jealous of that, like amazing handbag, or I'm jealous of her incredible hair, whatever. Juice is like in front of you, like you're drinking it. Jealous is out here. Fruit in general, fruit, just all like a fruit salad, that kind of thing. Gum is the 2 fingers, like the U, and it goes up and down. Gum. Candy. We talked about candy in general. That's things that are sweet. Sweet tarts, Starburst, stuff like that. Chocolate, like a Hershey bar, chocolate candy. Next one, taco. So remember we did sushi was 2 fingers. Taco is the whole hand. It's all that good stuff inside there. So the sushi's kind of rolled up and tiny. The taco's got all the yummies in it, okay? That is everything from here. The next thing I want to talk about is the book, just to kind of show you. So what I have done is I put on what needs to be finished assignment-wise in the book. It's not going to help you if you utilize the answers in the back of the book without trying first. If you do it, try to do it all, and then if you want to look back and see, yeah, I was right or not right, or it's not so much about you being right or wrong when you send me this. It's about you like looking at signing and trying to sign with these people. So you can see on 2.2 here, I don't want to cover up my mouth, but this is an activity. This is what you're doing. You're putting 1 to 19 and the answer. Or you're putting, or is it to 12? I'm sorry, 1 to 12. I was wrong. Sorry about that. Or here, this is 1 to 18. Then inside there, into the video, you will see they will like show you the signs, show you some examples, want you to copy sign something, and then it'll say the little headings, and you will see number 1, number 2, number 3, and it has like a heading. It'll say circle the number 1, and then the person will sign 8, and you like circle 8. So if you have the book, you know that there are works in here, activities in here. And I specifically said some of these into, for me, I was like, I don't even know what they're signing. I mean, it was so like, I was kind of confused. Here's the DVD. It's at the back of the book. So if you've bought the book and this isn't on here and you bought it from CLC, it should have had this. If you bought it online, contact me, and there's some things that Dawn Sign Press is doing for this COVID-19 for some of the students, because signing is really something you should be doing in class. And so it's so hard because there's a lot of you that said, hey, this isn't really my bag. I don't do online classes. This is not my thing. I don't like to be checking in and doing discussion boards and stuff like that. And I completely understand. Several of my deaf students at the other college I work at, they're not happy with this at all. They're just really kind of struggling. And it becomes an online class, which is not something that you signed up for. You wanted to be in class and learn how to sign. That's why we're kind of using the book a little bit more, because what I do when we're together is I take all those pictures and I hand them out, and I kind of pick and choose things in the book, and then I make an activity out of it, and then we do it and we partner and all that kind of stuff. Well, we don't have that luck right now, so we have to kind of just go back to the book and the signs that are actually in there. The other thing is in the video you will see, and I will show you in Unit 2, at the very back of all of the activities. The signs are in the activities, yes, but all of the signs are at the end of the chapter. So you can go all the way to the end of the chapter and you can look at them and see that they're there. I'm getting past all of this now. Just give me a sec. Sorry, guys. Here they all are. So here's all of the signs, and you will see after the activities, all the signs are there too. So not only do you have them on paper, you have them in person. So if there's a sign from Unit 1 or from Unit 2 that you're like, I don't really get, like some of you were talking about how when you looked at the signs on the video for the numbers, that they were signing like, I think it was 6, I can't even remember because I do 16. But as you can see, it's like there's one version and then they say alternative version, and they show him doing 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's variations on some kind of stuff. Sometimes they have, 2 signs for one word. The nice thing about some of them is that it tells you what those words are. Some of them are like a picture, and you're thinking, what does that even mean? Like this one right here, where the guy is using the sign for L's, and it says, I think it says, merci, thank you, gracias, which is great, but it's like, well, that doesn't mean thank you in all those words. The sign means language, so if there's some signs that you're like, okay, in the video, they're showing it to us, and I'm kind of like, well, what does that sign even mean? Because the picture in the book is not clear. I have to say, this is a very nice book, but they have kind of an IKEA sort of way of handling the descriptions. Because there's things that you look at and you go, does that mean time clock? Or what does that mean? They're trying to show you that this picture of this woman like punching in at the place where she works is the sign for work. But that's sometimes not very clear, and kind of like when my husband put like these shelves together behind us. Yeah, you need more than pictures. Sometimes words are kind of important. So if you get stuck and you're like, okay, on page whatever is that sign. Someone asked, and I don't know if I got back, because I have to tell you the amount of emails I'm getting from the other college I work for and CLC are like, oh, overwhelming. I'm sure you guys are feeling the same. If you get to something and you're like, oh, I don't know it, or it's wrong, or I don't think it's right, or whatever, try to do all the activities that you can do, and then the ones that have numbers, page numbers underneath them, those are the ones that you can then go back and look, oh yeah, I was right. The other ones, they'll say answer given in class. Those are the ones obviously I'm going to check. I would like to see all of them. I would like to see that you did it, even you wrote it down, or a few people sent me shots of their pages. That's fine too. If you don't want to type it all up, I have one student who did a beautiful job, made like a tablet and put all this stuff in. It was like gorgeous, whatever you want to do, it's totally fine. It's up to you. In regard to all of that kind of stuff though, if you get stuck with anything, if you're like, I can't do it because of blah, 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 try to tell me ahead of time. If something is due next week, Monday, not this coming, the 6th, but the next week, when Unit 2 is due, do not wait until Tuesday after it was due to tell me why you didn't do it. Tell me the Sunday before. Tell me the Saturday before. I understand problems. I understand life popping up. I understand that, that. Completely get it. The problem is, though, part of any class, doesn't matter if it's face-to-face or, online, or the craziness that we're experiencing now, is just to be able to be like, oh, I have to tell her that. I need to inform her of that. That's all I'm asking. Doesn't even have to really be like a big, in-depth explanation of, oh, this happened. No. You can just say, life got, in the way. I couldn't. I'm going to try to finish it by this date, whatever. So communicate with me ahead of time. That would be wonderful. So what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to sign off. Hopefully all of you will be able to see me, and this will be successful. We need a big thank you to Emily. I'm using her Chromebook, and she's going to help me to upload this and get some captions on it. So I miss you all. I miss seeing you. I miss hearing your stories. Pammy, I miss your doggy. I just miss you guys. It's really sad that I don't see you. I feel horrible. We're not going to have our party on Cinco de Mayo. It's kind of sad. I do have some signs I will upload for that, and I will have signs that I'll upload for spring. Probably the next time we have a quiz, it'll be part of this. I will teach you some new signs, and at the end of the YouTube will be like the same kinds of quizzes we had in class. So I hope this works. If you can, if you're free, remember, free, available, show up on Zoom on Monday. It's not mandatory. Watching this is mandatory. And because of that, I'm going to sign one sentence, and that's the sentence you have to put in for Wednesday for your attendance. So you have to watch the entirety of the video to understand the sentence at the end, and that's all you have to put in for Wednesday for your attendance is whatever I've signed, okay? So, you guys ready? Bye, guys. Put down whatever you think I said into the discussion board for Wednesday of this week. I will have a discussion board up for Monday of this week. Talk to you soon.